Super, super child, super child, super average child.
For to top it! Oh! Doncaster Rovers have done it!
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL, your Doncaster Rovers fan, and welcome to this very special preview. Now, this is the final home game of the season against Burton Albion and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink. Now, before we get started, make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, let's get into this one. So, Burton, last home game of the season. Now, coincidentally enough, even though McSheffrey came out and said, I believe I'm the right man to take the club forward, maybe the board in the summer might rethink their plans, who knows. And it would be quite ironic if they did, because look, Burton was the last league game Richie Wellens managed, lost 2-0 and got sacked after the Crew game in the trophy. Could you imagine if Burton Albion was McSheffrey's last home game as manager? Who knows? I don't think so. I think McSheffrey's here next season anyway. But just a bit of poeticness about this game. You know, if there was ever a chance of a new manager next season. But I think it'll be McSheffrey next season. And you know, like I said, he's got a new head of football above him. If it's the right appointment, give McSheffrey the time. If he still doesn't deliver, then you know, time to go. But yeah, even though it's sad, I personally didn't want him as manager. He wasn't my first choice, but you know, we've got him next season. I think it's pretty clear we're going to get him next season. So we just got to try and make the best of it if we can. But like I said, he's been playing some good football the last few weeks. You know, the fight back against Shrewsbury, but why we're in that position in the first place. The first half against Wickham. You know, first half against Morecambe back in January. You know, the Crew game, played some nice stuff, saw a bit of Crew pressure towards the end of the first half in that game, and you know, there was moments where we saw the kind of football McSheffrey wants to play long term. We saw the kind of personnel that needs to be there and cannot be there. And yeah, it does feel like, you know, we're starting to see a bit of McSheffrey's plan. Obviously, a load of stuff came out this week, whether it's true or not, about the some of the younger players joking about relegation in the gym. Obviously, McSheffrey's come out, said he sat them down one by one. They've told him what they think happened, and McSheffrey's not taking it further unless there's any more proof in the pudding. Now, I will say this: if there is proof, if proof has ever come out, whether from gym CCTV or something, if there's any proof that gets revealed that any of them joked about relegation, McSheffrey's on the money. Get them sacked. Get them sacked. Because if it's true, that is not the mentality. That just proves to me what the mentality of the squad is like. Weak-minded bottle jobs, but only if it's true. If it's not true, then fair enough. But it was saying about Bobby Faulkner, you would never hear those words coming out of his mouth. He's Donny through and through, future star in the making. He'll make his career, he will make it in his career. No doubt about that, whether it's Donny or someone else. He'll make it, I'm sure of it. Like I said, he's Donny through and through. He'll never joke about relegation with Doncaster, because he's got that spot for the club, Bobby Faulkner. He always has, always will have. But yeah, that came out. Obviously, we've had some details about the head of football. Hopefully, should be announced next week. Or Gary McSheffrey came out and said that something should be announced next week. So we'll keep an eye out over the next week to see what happens. But yeah, I just feel like this is, you know, it's been an interesting week for the club. Positives, very bad negatives if true. And, you know, we've had some negatives with injuries this week as well. Tommy Rowe's not going to play this game. Rochelle Williams is doubtful for this game. So taking all of that into account, I've put together my predicted lineup. So, I've gone with the classic 4-4-2 for this one. It can be adapted as a 4-1-4-1. If you want to take off a striker in the second half, if possible. So, I've gone with Jonathan Mitchell in goal. Gone with Ben Jackson, Joseph Olowu, Ollie Younger and Carl Knowles back four. Martin and Barlow on either wing with Clayton and Bostock in the middle. And then Odobeko and Griffiths up front. Now, the reason why I've gone with the 4-4-2 and the two strikers up front is because actually we looked a bit more of a dangerous threat than the first half, when we had 2 strikers on the field rather than 1 against Shrewsbury. So I feel like having 2 strikers on the field might add to the threat. We still might not be able to score, which is the story of our season, but I think it's worth it having 2 strikers on the field, even if you have to drop the midfielder. And to be fair, dropping Galbraith, I think, probably might be the best thing for this game going into the first half. Maybe bring him on in the second half for a bit of fresh legs and that. But you're probably thinking, where's Matt Smith? I think with the 4-4-2, I think if you have Clayton and Bostock as your sort of holding midfielders, and you're sort of your rock in the middle, I think you've got a very strong partnership there, especially if Bostock signs a new deal and Clayton's already here for at least another 12 months next season. So Clayton's going to already be here next season. Bostock will be here. I think it's also better with Smith being a loanee and highly unlikely coming to us permanently next season. I said to him previous times, please tell them to come here permanently, and he said he'll try. So whether he tries or not, we don't know. But I think with Clayton and Bostock likely to be your starting midfield pairing for next season, it's better to get that partnership up and going already. Galbraith's going to go back from his loan spell, so is Matt Smith. Have Clayton and Bostock ready as your midfield partnership, and just keep playing them in matches, keep them going, and keep working with that partnership, keep it strong, keep it flowing, because that'll give you the best foundation going into next season in terms of having that chemistry already. So that's why I've gone with Clayton and Bostock as a midfield, and also having Griffiths up front with Odobeko. Obviously, you can make the same case with the loanee spells with Odobeko. But to be honest, who else is going to come up front apart from Odobeko, along with Griffiths? Dudu, in my opinion, is not good enough. Hawilla, in my opinion, is not good enough. And you've got no other strikers. Agard's out for the season. Okunabiri's still got another 4 months of rehabilitation, and in my opinion, I think he's done with Rovers anyway. So, for me, it's one of those. It's just one of those things. I think Odobeko is probably the only option we've got. And of course, he scored 2 and 2, so who's to say he won't score 3 and 3? But prediction-wise for the game, it's a hard one. Burton just beat Rotherham, and we just snatched a comeback draw against Shrewsbury. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think we'll earn a point, but mathematically it still won't be enough to officially give us that R. And once we officially get that R at the end of 90 minutes, away next week at Oxford, we're just going to celebrate. We're just going to celebrate a relegation party. We're just going to have a party, grab a few drinks, get drunk, and just forget about this season next week, because who doesn't love a party in Oxford, right? But that is going to be it for this video. Make sure you do like, comment, subscribe, and for now, I am the CHALL, your Doncaster Rovers fan. Goodbye, Rovers, till I die.